Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Elevate Your Life podcast. I am so excited to share with you today's message. There's been a lot of observation taking place over here and reflection. And through that awareness, I've had so many messages that I've been jotting down in my notes to share with you. And the one that came through for me to share today, as there's going to be a series of different messages that are going to come through the next several weeks. The first one I thought that was super important to start with, and what I want to share with you today is all about managing your energy and knowing how to recharge your battery. I find that to be so critical as we're going about life and we're being asked and invited and we're committing and we're showing up to know how to manage our energy as far as, have we overextended our stay? Do we need to go and retract and regain some of our energy? If so, how do you do that? How do you recharge your battery? How do you know yourself a little bit more to know what are your needs? Do you actually need to be around people and socialize today? What does your energy and your body need? So that's going to be today's message. And I've gone through a couple of different instances where I've really noticed this kick in for myself. And I've done things a little differently than what I would used to do before. And I felt so proud of myself, like so proud of myself. And I want you to know how to feel proud of yourself when you learn how to tune into your needs, manage your energy, and know when and if you need to recharge. So as we dive into the message, I would love, if you are not subscribed to the podcast already, please take not even a moment. It's literally like a half a second to go into the show and click the checkbox, follow, subscribe, whatever that button looks like for you on your platform, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you're listening. Please go ahead and click subscribe. This way you never miss out on an episode we have coming to the show here. We have some amazing guests that we're lining ourselves up with here, and I cannot wait for you to hear their unique messages. So please hit subscribe. And if this show has helped you in any way bring value to your life, fresh perspectives, or an insight, from our amazing guests, please give us a 5-star rating and review on how this show has helped elevate your life. I can't tell you how much it means to me when I read your reviews. It literally makes my day. Okay. And whoever I'm next to, I go, oh my gosh, look. I mean, it is so powerful to hear your takeaways on how this show has been helping you gain different perspectives or view things in a different way or help normalize and validate. And that is what we're here to do, is to help each other elevate our lives and know that you're not alone. So that would mean the world to me. And it really helps a new listener as they're sifting through different podcasts or having discovered our show, understand what is the show all about and how is it going to be valuable for them. So just know that no review goes unnoticed and they're all so meaningful. So to manage your energy, okay, the number one most important thing we are missing almost all of the time before we do anything is setting our intention. Okay. Without setting an intention, you are going into something blindly, open-endedly, and that's fine too, right? If the intention is to go into something open-endedly, great. Like for example, when I've had a girlfriend come in town, we would go restaurant hopping. That was the intention. There was no plan. The plan was you go, you order an appetizer and a drink, and then you leave, go to the next place, order an appetizer and a drink. And this was all a walkable experience. So it was fun, like bar hopping, but restaurant hopping instead. That was the intention. But if you're not setting an intention, then you're going to get carried and and literally drawn in the waves and in the riptide of whatever circumstance, situation, event you're walking into. And you're going to end up resentful because it was not the direction you wanted to go in. You were not in control of the wave. You were literally being pulled in under the current because you didn't have a direction on where you wanted to go. And people can sense that in your energy. So, and not that they're doing that intentionally, but you have to have your compass, your GPS set. Where do you want to go today? When you wake up, what does this day look like for me? When you're going to an event, what do I want to get out of this event? And it's more of a strategy, right? What is my strategy going into this event? Is it to connect with people I haven't seen in a long time? Is it to meet new people and expand my network? Am I looking to be social, first of all? Am I not looking to be social? Am I going to be drinking? Am I not going to be drinking? How long am I going to be staying for? Is my minimum an hour? Is my minimum, or is it the duration of the event? What is your intention, your strategy, right? Based on where you are right now, on the way that you're feeling, your current energy load, right? That you're going into. And this will help you set the tone so that way you can make the most out of the experience, right? And you will pull in the experience that you're looking to have to you because you're actively looking for it. You're actively engaged in that strategy. You're going to be pulling that into you. People will respond to you in the way that you are showing up, right? So that is step number one. And it primes you to also be grateful for anything that occurs in addition that wasn't in your original intention. And that just becomes the cherry on top. It's like when, you go somewhere and the intention was this, but these other three things happen and it made it that much better and so much more exciting and enjoyable and fun to talk about. That's what I'm talking about. It puts you in a position to be able to receive that much more because you've set that intention. And I can't tell you how many times when I don't set intentions, I feel like it's a waste of time. Have you ever felt that way? For example, when you go to the gym, and right now I'm actually going to LA Fitness, and it's the first time since high school that I'm going to an LA Fitness. And I say that because my preference is workout classes. I like to know that the hardest part is showing up. So my intention is all I have to do is show up because the rest is on the board and they tell me what to do. And 45 minutes later or an hour later, I know I've had a great workout. And everything else is the cherry on top, right? You're setting yourself up for success. When I go into LA Fitness, and it's just convenient for me right now, my lifestyle, my current schedule. So that's why I'm going there instead of my preference. I've noticed without setting an intention upon going to the gym, as far as what is my workout going to be, how long, which body part am I going to focus on? Am I going to use the machines, or am I going to do more functional or just dumbbell or all these different, it overwhelms me. And I spend too much time thinking about what am I going to do? What do I not feel like doing? I end up wasting more time than I would like. And I don't end up having a really great workout. And so even in that really simple example, having an intention of knowing, which body part am I working on? And am I going to be doing combination of which machines? Um, you know, can I be sufficient in a 30-minute time frame? Right? All those different things to set that intention so you can build around that and maximize your time. Lately, since I've been doing that, after I recognized that, I've been having really good workouts. Despite me not preferring going to LA Fitness, it's been better than before. Another example, I was at an event recently, and if you're someone like me who loves to be extroverted, who loves to be around people and socialize and all of those great things, you probably love events. And events are great. But you also tend to overextend or overstay on how, on when your energy has actually been um, uh, exerted to the point where you've checked the box. And you can leave knowing that you came, you saw, you conquered, you feel good, and you can go home now. So often we feel like we need to stay till the very end. And what's going to happen is it's going to deplete you even more because you actually already energetically checked the box. So this goes back to knowing yourself and setting that intention. If my intention was A and I accomplished that in this amount of time versus the entire duration of the event, you don't have to stay the duration. So you have to give yourself the permission to not worry about what other people think. That goes back to part of managing your energy. You're not managing other people's energy. You are in charge of managing your energy. And when you can master that, you're going to complain less. You're going to blame less. You're going to feel less resentful, and you're going to feel more trustworthy of yourself because you know you're making the decision that is best for you and your energy management, right? So this is so powerful because I used to feel like I would have to stay to the very end. And then, I mean, I think it's part of my culture being Greek. When you say bye to people, you say bye like 6 times because the first time you make your round of saying bye to people, it's the so nice to see you, the hugs and the goodbyes. And then you see them again and you start talking again and you say goodbye again. So it's an additional like 30 minutes or so before you can actually leave. And that's great when it's warranted. But if you know your energy is already depleted, just do yourself the favor and give yourself that permission slip to give yourself what you need. Now, this could look like a couple of different things. You could leave and actually go home or to the next thing that you're attending or doing, or you may just need a couple of moments to yourself, right? If you do have the obligation where you need to stay, if it's for work or family or whatever that scenario is, and you actually have to stay at X event, but you need a moment, go to your car, take a step outside. Go and give yourself what you need. Give yourself that permission. Okay. You're allowed to change the way that you feel. Okay. When you go in somewhere, we end up having this expectation of us as women that we have to show up and put out for everyone else. But yet we forget and we neglect ourselves. And that, yes, it's okay to change our energetic state. It happens. Honor that. Honor that. So, we only have so much energy in a day, right? For example, let's use 100 watts as our marker, as our metric. So if you only have 100 watts of energy per day and you did not get a good night's sleep, you're already waking up with 80 watts. How do you manage those 80 watts effectively? And when you're down to the wire and you still have 5 more hours in your day, you still have the rest of the evening left to, provide for your family and do dinner, the evening routine, or for your boyfriend, or even just for yourself even, right? How do you replenish a bit of that energy once it's been depleted? This is also key. And I have been able to crack the code on how to do that in a way that doesn't require a lot of time when you're on the go. And it's just simple things and knowing how to connect to yourself. What will actually move the needle to give you that feeling of rejuvenation that does not rely on anybody else? Okay, because people won't always be available in the times of when you're going to need that recharge. And if they are, great, phone the friend. But if they're not, what can you do? And this is also critical to optimizing our life so that we can be responsible for our own energy management, right? So that way you can show up the way that you want to for the duration of your day, even though things may not have gone according to plan. You didn't get the sleep that you wanted, but they're not a condition to affect the way that you operate, because you know what you need, and you also now are giving yourself permission to take that step back and recharge your battery. So, as a human, okay, we are comprised of our mind, our body, and our soul. You must connect to each of those three things, or at least one or two of them, in order to successfully recharge your battery. Okay, that's why they say movement energizes your physical body. It also releases those endorphins and those good hormones. Okay, your mind, meditation, reading, being still, okay, that engages your mind. It unpacks the brain, gives you some clarity in the mind. And then, of course, our soul, tapping in, feeling loved, really feeling gratitude, and that form of happiness and authenticity gives you energy. It's so interesting when you think about the things that actually give you energy. They don't cost anything, really. They don't usually take a lot of time. And they're the simplest things on this planet that make you the happiest. So all day long, we are giving of ourselves to our work, to our family, to technology, to social media. Our brain is constantly processing information with all of the content we're seeing and the videos we're swiping and people's lives that we're watching and comparing ourselves to. Our kids are constantly requiring something of us, and we're just day in, day out, depleting. And we are relying most likely on our support system to give us energy. And we forget the most important role in our life to sustain our energy is ourselves. So what can you do to recharge that battery within yourself? And the best, and I'll give you some examples here and tips on how to do this. It was actually part of my recent talk I gave a couple of weeks ago at the Elevate 2024 Business Conference, all about how to recharge your battery. And one of the most, easiest things that you can do is to give yourself that breath, is to pause, is to step away from what you're doing and just inhale as far in as you can and exhale as far out as you can. Give your body a process to reset and tone down the level that it's operating at, right? Far too often we're going 100 miles an hour. We're doing 5,000 things at the same time. It just doesn't stop. So to recharge your battery, you first need to just stop. Just give yourself a moment to breathe, okay? The power of your breath is so underestimated. If you've heard my other episodes regarding motherhood and my labor experience, it is exactly how I birthed my son, was through the power of my breath. So when in doubt, return to your breath and breathe in as far as you can and breathe out as far as you can. And just give your body a moment to reset, okay? The next one that I absolutely love is if you have an essential oil handy, preferably like a citrus, a eucalyptus, or a peppermint. Those are amazing to inhale. I usually just take a little drop, put it in between my fingers, my index and my middle finger, and I will breathe in the essential oil as I'm taking my breath in. Okay, again, all the way in, all the way out. And as you breathe in, you're breathing in that essential oil scent. Okay. And you're going to repeat that at least 6 to 10 times. If you want to go more, go for it. The more the better, I always say, but at least 6 times so that you can activate the essential oil within your nasal passageway. And this will literally reinvigorate every part of your passageway, of your brain cells. You will literally feel turned on. If you were tired before, if you were just low energy, you did not have enough sleep the night before, so you're waking up with less than 100 watts, this is one of my secret tips to giving myself a boost, an energetic boost. So imagine going from like 80 watts in your day back to 90. Okay. And again, the more breaths you can take in and just really let that essential oil sink in, imagine going to 95 watts. Okay. So just think of it in that context, and you're going to start to really feel those little boosts of energy. And it takes a total of not even 5 minutes. That's the best part. Okay. So another great way to boost your energy and recharge, let's say you've had a lot of stimulation, the complete opposite, where that was more so when you're low energy, tired, and you need more energy. Okay. Let's say you've exerted a lot of energy and you need to unwind yourself. Okay. What I like to do is put on some relaxing music, something that's not very stimulating, to unwind my brain and allow my thoughts to slow down. This goes back to just stopping what you're doing. Okay. So relaxing music to unwind, also stepping out and getting some sunlight, or even just stepping into nature and leaving your phone behind. Our phone is a distraction. It is constant stimulation. So if you're looking to give yourself just some solitude and no stimulation, sunlight, relaxing music, and just stepping outside, regardless of sun or not, and just being in nature, are incredible for giving your body time to come back to itself and process. Okay. Those are some of my top tips for recharging your batteries. Okay. You could also go for a walk or just stretch, move your body, right? Going back to the movement. It comes down to connection, as I said before. So what can you do to connect? And if it is phoning a friend, fantastic. And if they're available, even better. And if they're not, how can you take back that control and say, okay, what is in my control? What is within my environment? What do I have access to that I can leverage to boost my energy? Okay. When you master your energy, you will deepen the sense of trust within yourself. You will optimize your day. And like I said before, you will take the responsibility for yourself back into your own hands, and you will reclaim that power. And you will literally start to notice the people around you will react differently towards you because you're so cognizant and aware of yourself. It's almost like an attraction because you're no longer spilling unwanted energy that's unwarranted and nobody knows what to do with, right? That's your responsibility to know when you need to pour back into your own cup and stop spilling onto others. And I am so guilty of that. Since becoming aware of how to manage my energy better, it has stopped with the people pleasing. It has taken back my power, my responsibility for self. It has allowed me more patience and more resiliency with my toddler that requires so much of me, because you cannot pour for an empty cup. Okay. If your wattage from 100 is down to 15, how do you think you're going to be showing up and reacting and responding to those you love most? Not in the best way. So what can you do to inch your way back up in your wattages and recharge those batteries so that you can not just give back to yourself, but show up in the way that you want to. I'll give you another great example and I'll leave you with this. When I bring my son home in the afternoons and he wants to play and be active and do all these things outside, I now take that as my opportunity to let the sun recharge me. I'm all about habit stacking and maximizing your time. So I will sit outside with him intentionally to obviously watch him play and engage, but also to allow the sun to energize me. So as he's requiring energy, I'm also giving it back to myself. And the intention is set intentionally so that way I'm aware that I am pouring into myself as he's requiring something of me. Okay. Super important to ensure that your intention is there. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything for you. You're going to feel more irritated than anything because you just feel like you're being depleted all the time. So intention, knowing how to manage your energy, knowing when you've overextended your stay. When can you say to yourself, I've checked the box. I'm good. I can go now. I'm well. I'm okay. When can you say to yourself, you know something? I'm feeling a bit more anxious today. I really need to move my body a bit more before the end of the day. I think it's time to take the kids outside again because I need it too, right? Or, if it's just you, what can you do that can exert that energy within yourself that you know you have within? And if you don't, it's going to rub off negatively on those around you. This is what it comes down to in managing your energy. Take your power back. You have so much of it at any given moment that you can claim back, and know you have exactly what you need at all times to fill your cup, increase your wattage, and charge your batteries. I hope this message was impactful for you. I hope that it gives you a different way to view the different scenarios and how we move about life and we go through things, and that you are always in control. No matter where you are, what you're doing, or who you're with, you have the power to say, this is how I'm feeling. What can I do about it? And how can I pour back into myself? I'm sending you so much love, and I cannot wait to see you here again next week for another episode on how to elevate your life.